I seek refuge in God from the devil the accursed. Peace be upon you. For this peace, we will focus on the will of God and how it interacts with guidance from the decree of God to the scope of messengers, internal interference of the path of guidance and the path of those on the left and right. First we will look at the declaration of God. 272. Not upon you is there guidance, but God guides whom he wills. And whatever good you spend is for yourselves, and you do not spend except seeking the countenance of God. And whatever you spend of good, it will be fully repaid to you, and you will not be wronged. 1331. And if there was any Quran by which the mountains would be removed or the earth would be broken apart or the dead would be made to speak, but to God belongs the command. Then have those who believed not accepted that had God willed, he would have guided the people, all of them? And those who disbelieve do not cease to be struck, for what they have done, by calamity, or it will descend near their home, until there comes the promise of God. Indeed, God does not fail in his promise. 32:13. And if we had willed, we could have given every soul its guidance, but the word from me will come into effect that I will surely fill hell with jinn and people altogether. 6:149. Say, with God is the far-reaching argument. If he had willed, he would have guided you all. Secondly, we will look at the messenger's role and limitations. 6:35. And if their evasion is difficult for you, then if you are able to seek a tunnel into the earth or a stairway into the sky to bring them a sign, then consider. But if God had willed, he would have united them upon guidance. So never be of the ignorant. 28:56. Indeed, you do not guide whom you like, but God guides whom he wills. And he is most knowing of the guided. 14:4. And we did not send any messenger except speaking in the language of his people to state clearly for them, and God sends astray whom he wills and guides whom he wills. And he is the exalted in might, the wise. 39:23. God has sent down the best hadith, a consistent book wherein is reiteration. The skins shiver therefrom of those who fear their Lord, then their skins and their hearts relax at the remembrance of God. That is the guidance of God by which he guides whom he wills. And one whom God leaves astray, for him there is no guide. 24:46. We have certainly sent down distinct verses. And God guides whom he wills to a straight path. 14:27. God keeps firm those who believe, with the firm word, in worldly life and in the hereafter. And God sends astray the wrongdoers. And God does what he wills. 16:9. And upon God is the direction of the way, and among the various paths are those deviating. And if he willed, he could have guided you all. Next is a demonstration of how polluted internal conditions cloud the perception of the true way. Internal existing pollutants interferes with the detection of direction of faith when it presents itself due to narcissism, association to God and pride. 35:8. Then is one to whom the evil of his deed has been made attractive, so he considers it good like one rightly guided? For indeed, God sends astray whom he wills and guides whom he wills. So do not let yourself perish over them in regret. Indeed, God is knowing of what they do. 42:13. He has ordained for you of the way of life what he enjoined upon Noah and that which we have revealed to you, and what we enjoined upon Abraham and Moses and Jesus, to establish the way of life and not be divided therein. Difficult for those who associate others with God is that to which you invite them. God chooses for himself whom he wills and guides to himself whoever turns back. 213. Mankind was of one fellowship, then God sent the prophets as bringers of good tidings and warners, and sent down with them the scripture and truth to judge between the people concerning that in which they differed. And none differed over the scripture except those who were given it, after the clear proofs came to them, out of jealous animosity among themselves. And God guided those who believed to the truth concerning that over which they had differed, by his permission. And God guides whom he wills to a straight path. Next, we shall explore the path of those on the left. 142. The foolish among the people will say, what has turned them away from their Qibla, which they used to face? Say, to God belongs the east and the west. He guides whom he wills to a straight path. 1693. And if God had willed, He could have made you one fellowship, but he causes to stray whom he wills and guides whom he wills. And you will surely be questioned about what you used to do. 639. But those who deny our verses are deaf and dumb within darknesses. Whomever God wills, he leaves astray, and whomever he wills, he puts him on a straight path. 1327. And those who disbelieve say, why has a sign not been sent down to him from his Lord? Say, indeed, God leaves astray whom he wills and guides to himself whoever turns back. 1331. And if there was any Quran by which the mountains would be removed or the earth would be broken apart or the dead would be made to speak, but to God belongs the command. Then have those who believed not accepted that had God willed, he would have guided the people, all of them? And those who disbelieve do not cease to be struck, for what they have done, by calamity, or it will descend near their home, until there comes the promise of God. Indeed, God does not fail in his promise. Next, onto the path of those on the right. 42:52. And thus we have revealed to you an inspiration of our command. You did not know what is the book or faith, but we have made it a light by which we guide whom we will of our servants. And indeed, you guide to a straight path. 24:35. God is the light of the heavens and the earth. The example of his light is like a niche within which is a lamp, the lamp is within glass, the glass as if it were a pearly star lit from a blessed olive tree, neither of the east nor of the west, whose oil would almost glow even if untouched by fire. Light upon light. God guides to his light whom he wills. And God presents examples for the people, and God is knowing of all things. 688. That is the guidance of God by which he guides whomever he wills of his servants. But if they had associated others with God, then worthless for them would be whatever they were doing. 10:25. And God invites to the home of peace and guides whom he wills to a straight path. In conclusion, will you consider the will of God as a reason for not being guided or adapt to the reality and start being prudent in your life's decisions?